Ready to go live.
All right. Peace, love, and light. It's your girl Annie Mae, the Neo Soul Songstress.
Hey, and I'm Myron Benjamin Blakey Fisher.
And you are watching For the Love of Music Talk Show
on
Starfire
Internet Radio.
Yes, yes. And today's special guest we have on the show today, she is a woman of many hats, and she is a poet and a writer, and I'm going to let her tell you guys all about it. So without further ado, give it up for
Miss Queen of Sheba
from the Poetry versus Hip Hop. Yes.
What's up, y'all? Thank y'all so much for having me on your podcast. I really appreciate it. I do wear a lot of hats, but it's fun. You know, I'm a Leo. I like to stay busy. And
when's your birthday?
August 11th. It's a milestone this year.
All right. Mine is July 24th.
Oh, okay. Welcome, Leo brother. Okay. Annie, when's your birthday?
August the 24th. I'm a Virgo.
A Virgo, yeah. I got a Virgo rising and a Taurus moon, so I'm a Leo Virgo.
Oh, yeah. Nice. That was one. Yeah, you see, a couple days away from being a Leo.
yeah.
Mr. Leo trying to like that.
Spirit wanted to be a Leo.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me. Yes, I have been a spoken word artist for 23 years. I have, the only time I've done poetry in Pittsburgh, I was just there doing a couple colleges. I believe that Carlow University is it's in Pittsburgh. Yeah. So I was there doing Carlow University, and that was really exciting a few months ago. And Poetry versus Hip Hop's home is in Atlanta, Georgia, where I live. I live between Atlanta and Raleigh. And we do City Winery every quarter in Atlanta, and the Atlanta City Winery was like, yo, this is really dope. Let me reach out to the other city wineries and see if they want to pick up your show for a summer tour. And I was like, this is amazing. So we're really excited to be playing Pittsburgh City Winery with you all. And I'm telling you, all I did was ask Facebook. I was like, hey, Facebook, I've never been to Pittsburgh, like the city, right? Doing a college is totally different. So I was like, I have never been there. So who's hot in the city and who should I have as a band? And like 4, 5, 6 people were like, Annie, da 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 da. And I was like, let me find this Annie person. So,
oh man, shout out to you. Yeah, that's how we found supporters. That's cool.
That's great.
That's a blessing. I'm telling you.
I'm super excited. And the show is almost sold out. We got a few tickets left, so we want to tell the listeners and followers that it's almost sold out. So for those of you all who are like, okay, what is this poetry versus hip hop? What does live music have to do with it? So as a spoken word artist, a lot of times we get booked to open for big bands like you, right? They'll be like, oh, we're having this big band come and let's have a poet. But then what happens is we never get to meet you. We never get to meet the big band, right? Because we're going first and people are just coming in and they're getting their seats and drinking their wine. And so I said, you know what? As a spoken word artist, whenever I throw a show, I'm going to flip it and have the features go before the poets. And so I grew up as a child of hip hop, and I love hip hop and I love poetry. And I also grew up in the poetry slam scene. And what that just means is, I'm just used to poetry being a competition. And I was like, you know what if we made this a fun competition and had like the teams go against each other in a friendly battle, and then one of the teams goes home with prize money. And so we started doing this in Atlanta, and it caught fire. And now we're on the road. Now, I will say we were on the road pre-pandemic, but then my co-founder actually passed away of breast cancer a few years ago. It's okay. And she was great, and she put up a good battle, and she was the DJ for it, and also the co-founder, but she passed away, and I wasn't sure if I was going to bring it back, but so many people were like, bring it back. It was amazing. And so literally we've been back 2 years, and everybody loves the show. Everywhere we go, the show sells out. And so I know Pittsburgh has never seen us before, so that might be the case for the slow roll, but I'm telling y'all, it's a fun show. And I'm an adult, y'all are adults. This is not a kid show. This is not a kid poetry slam. and you get a comedian. The comedian's name is Matt Light. And again, I just asked Pittsburgh, hey, you know, who's the funniest comedian? And actually, there was a couple comedians that we looked up before him, and they just were booked and busy. And so I asked those comedians, I was like, all right, who would you have? And so we are very excited to have Matt Light. He's been on CNN, ESPN. He has been on Fox. He's been on a couple podcasts. I think it's like Beer Radio, something that y'all have in Pittsburgh with the NFL. So, you know, he's funny. He's a white boy and he's really super funny. So I've been following him and we've been kind of, you know, making like friends and, you know, talking about things. So I'm excited to have him. And so just for everybody that's watching, this show is black, white, brown, yellow, purple, green, whatever. Bring your friends, bring your family. It's a really good time. It's high energy. So you come in. I believe the Pittsburgh doors open at 6:30. So you come and you listen to the DJ. His name is DJ Crowns. You have some wine, dinner, hang out with me and Annie and Myron. Talk to us. We ain't doing nothing. We gonna come out and talk to you and say hello, and then take some pictures with us. And then the show starts with actually me and my co-host start first to warm y'all up, you know, introduce the show and tell y'all what it's about. And then the comedian starts first, Matt Light. He goes on for about 20-25 minutes. If y'all love him, he gonna go for a little longer. And then Annie comes out with Myron and they rock out for, you know, 20-25 minutes. And then we start the competition. And the competition is 3-on-3. So it's 3 poets, 3 MCs, and it's a head-to-head battle. And it's all peace, all love. This is not a rap battle. They're not trying to take each other out. They're not talking about they're not talking about his mama. They're just going to perform their best song if they're a hip hop artist and their best poem if they're a poet, and the audience chooses the winner, and the winning team goes home with $1,000. But there's also a bonus round, but I don't tell people what the bonus round is. You got to come and see it for yourself live. So the tickets are on sale right now. Go to Pittsburgh City Winery, click on Friday, May 31st. And also it's me and my honey's 1-year anniversary. So we're going to be celebrating it with y'all.
Right.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And everybody, you know, check out our post. We made a post on Facebook about it, you know. Sorry,
follow me on Instagram, please. I would love some new friends in my community. My Instagram is just how it is on the screen, the Queen Sheba, and that's also my TikTok. And then Poetry versus Hip Hop is just how it's spelled right there, but just put the @ symbol in front of it, and that's how you can follow us. And everywhere we're going to be. So we're doing Philly the night before, and then we're flying to Pittsburgh in the morning. And then me and my honey need to know what to do on Saturday night in Pittsburgh. We looked up concerts, like what do we do for our 1-year anniversary, and we found Kenny Chesney.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I said, okay.
Also, we're involved in theater here too, so there may be some great plays going on as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Let us know.
Theater companies, in particular, New Horizons Theater Company and Pittsburgh Playwrights Theater Company as well. So they may have, I think one of them may have a play going on at this time.
Okay. Yeah, well, let us know. We'll be hanging out all day Saturday, kicking it in Pittsburgh. So I'm hoping to. A lot of times we don't get to sit with the poets and the MCs, and I'm hoping, you know, to go to breakfast with them or something. And hopefully you guys are available, and we'll just chat about nothing and everything.
Most definitely. Yeah. So what is your creative process like when you're creating a poem or writing? What is your creative process?
So people, I love when people ask that, because it literally can be anything, something that's bothering me and or making me happy, or also, you know, commission work too. If Coca-Cola calls and says, hey, we need a poem about it, I'll be quick to create something, you know? So right now, I'm working on my 10th album. It's called a dime piece, like for 10. And then, so I always have 2 names for my albums. It's so funny because I can never decide. And then, so it's called A Dime Piece, and then B, The South Got Something to Say. Because of course, right now that's, you know, that's a hot topic about the South, and Andre 3000 talking about the South, and it's, you know, us picking up hip hop, and it's the 50 years of hip hop and all of that. So When I'm in album writing mode, it's really exciting to collaborate with other singers, hip hop artists, poets, and producers. And so that really kind of gets my juices going. They push me to create some amazing things. So I can literally, sometimes it'll take me years to write a poem, and sometimes it'll take minutes, and anywhere in between. And it just depends on, you know, how much is resonating with me. Anything from social politics and women's rights is what I write about mostly, and being Black, being LGBTQIA, what's trending, and of course, you know, love and heartbreak. So
okay,
yeah.
okay.
I have a very funny poem about, and I don't know what it's like in Pittsburgh, but I have a very funny poem about what it was like for me to move to the South from Detroit and run into water bugs. Yeah, it had to end up being funny because I was about to cry. I was like, this is insane. I don't know what is happening right now.
Water bugs. Oh.
Yeah. So what's your creative process when you're writing a song, Miss Annie?
Well, first I like to hear it, you know, I like to put on jazz music. I don't know why but you know, jazz music motivates me as far as writing, because it's just like Miles Davis, John Coltrane, Marcus Miller, Michelle Farrell. One of my Michelle Farrell definitely inspires me to listening to Michelle Farrell or Angela Winbush, just the classics, you know, the old school, but the new school, you know. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's pretty much what I do. Yeah.
So you put on some jazz music and see how you're feeling and write. Yeah. What's one of your favorite songs that you've written over any time?
Well, there's a song that I wrote called "My Black Is Beautiful," and it was a song that I had wrote for my daughter. I wrote it before she was. I believe it was a reason for me to write that song, and it was for her. But I wrote it back in 2012, and I was watching. It was a documentary that was talking about people bleaching their skin, and I'm like,
wow,
yeah. I'm like, I wish I could just tell that person through the TV that their black is beautiful, and to embrace who you are and who God made you. It's not only about being Black, it's about being yourself. You got to love yourself regardless of, you know, of anything comes your way. That's it's about loving yourself. And
you know, I really appreciate that. And I just sent you a text message. Can you check your text message?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate whenever somebody does Black is Beautiful poems or songs or hip hop, because I'm biracial and sometimes I felt like I wasn't Black enough, or I wasn't necessarily welcome into spaces because people had a preconceived notion that I didn't understand Black history as much as they thought I did. And then of course, when I, you know, start to speak or do my poems, it's complete, like they're like, oh my God, I didn't realize, I'm so sorry. And I'm just like, you know, I'm a Black woman. Trust me, when the police pull me over, they're not like, oh, you're biracial, go ahead and go. Like they're not, they don't do that. They're like, you're Black, get out the car. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just love Black people, and I love the way that we can support each other, and I wish we did it more often.
Yes. Hello, sister. How are you?
Hi. Well, how are you?
Good. I'm well. Welcome to For the Love of Music talk show.
So this is
Byron here, and I'm Annie Mae.
And they're our live band, and this is their podcast. So this is Maya Writes, like writing. She's an amazing poet in Pittsburgh. And she is our Pittsburgh ambassador. So what happens is, because I can't be in 14 places at once, then I reach out to the poetry community and ask the poetry community, like, who would make a great ambassador for us to come. And so the ambassador's job is, you know, it's not a lot of heavy lifting. It's really just answering my text messages and phone calls in the middle of the night. It's like, what should we do? Where should we go? How should we do this? And then, you know, they're really helpful and knowledgeable about their city. And she helped put the teams together. I, you know, ran the poets and MCs by her, and she ran them by me. And so, you know, hey, however this battle goes, it's Maya's fault. So
Thank you,
it's going to go well.
Oh my gosh, this is beautiful.
I believe you. It's going to go well.
The battle's going to be great. I mean, whoever wins, Maya stacked the deck. So
okay.
You know, I'm leaning toward the poetry side. I'm obviously biased, but my writing stamped. So y'all want a great time. You know, it's poetry, great time, hip hop. But you know, you can't have fun without the funds. And the poet,
right?
That's right.
Right. And I'm like, I said music. I say my music is both. I'm like, I'm hip hop and
that's dope. That's perfect. That's perfect. That's exactly what we need. But I'm really excited to hear Brother Man's too, because along with you, he was the other person that people were like, hit him. And so I'm really excited to see him. And this is the thing for everybody that's watching this is like, oh, I didn't even know this show was happening. So please buy tickets to the show. The room is not big. It holds 200 people, I think 220 or 212 or something like that. And that's a decent poetry night, right? It's a decent night out. And it's Friday night in Pittsburgh. And then you get live music, comedy, poetry, and hip hop all in 2.5 hours. We do not the show. You'll be walking out of there at 10:30, enough time to go out to the club or go to the cigar bar or whatever, and invite us out. Like I said, we're staying over. You know, where are we going? What are we doing after? What's the club after the club? Like, what are we doing? And then I'm super excited about that because I like to get to know the community. And if we sell out the show, it's more likely that City Winery Pittsburgh will ask us to come back next summer. So, you know, help us do that. Help us bring a Black woman production back every summer. And I think that would be great. Then we can have Annie back.
Yeah.
I just want to change one thing. I want to change the if to a win. Because one thing I know about Pittsburgh culture, they are the day of type of folk. They really, really are. I got 15 things in my group chat like, I was on a day. I'm like, but why? But
right. It's so funny. It's like but you know what? I do the same thing. Let me tell y'all something. This is a real story. The other day, so me, the DJ, my co-host, and our videographer are coming to Philly and then Pittsburgh, right? So and then my partner Sheila, and so we were all like trying to organize us getting to Philly, the Airbnb, then the flight from Philly to Pittsburgh. So Frontier had, you hear my past tense, had a flight from Philly to Pittsburgh. Granted, you can only take a backpack, right? Because you know how Frontier is. You bring anything on there, they're like $27. I'm like, hold on, Frontier. Right. But anyway, had a flight from Philly to Pittsburgh for $25. And let me tell you something about procrastination is the devil, because I waited one day. It is now $79. So when I tell you,
oh my God,
not procrastinate to get y'all tickets, people, because the room only is 220 and we're over 100. There's not many tickets left. We're over 100 already. And Matt, let me tell you something. Do not sleep on this white boy, Matt Light. He is the king of comedy in Pittsburgh. He sold out his own 1,000 person comedy concert last summer in Pittsburgh. He rented a warehouse. I think he rented a warehouse. There's pictures online. 1,000 people came to see him. So do not sleep on Matt Light. Don't sleep on Annie and Myron. Do not sleep on the poets or the hip hop artists. And of course, City Winery is putting out all their promo. So don't wait till the last minute to get your tickets. You're going to be like, oh, how am I going to get in? I'm like, guess next summer, because
straight up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I'm super excited. So Maya is a poetry slam champion, and she's put together some amazing artists, and I'm excited to see everybody and tap into the community. So Poetry versus Hip Hop is less than a week away, Friday, Pittsburgh City Winery. Doors open at 6:30, and we hit the stage at 7:55. Me and my co-host, we say, hey, what's up? We introduce ourselves, do a little warm up. with the DJ, and then we go right into Matt Light to do his 20-minute comedy set, and then we go right into Annie and Myron. What's a Rhythm of the Night soul?
Rhythm of the Night fusion band.
I'm not sure if it's backwards.
You got to do your shoulders.
Rhythm of the Night fusion band. Wait a minute, hold on.
Rhythm of the Night fusion.
Here we go.
So Annie said she's gonna do some hip hop, some soul, some R&B.
We do a little bit of a little bit of new school, a little bit of
old school. We do some old school R&B, reggae, country, gospel. You name it, we do it.
Well, it's
You name it, we do it.
Good music is good music. I just told you I'm going to see Kenny Chesney the next day. So
shoot.
Good music is good music. I love it.
So we sing little Chris Stapleton. What's that? Tennessee whiskey.
And we'll mix that with I'd Rather Go Blind.
Etta James. I'm like, because when I first heard that song, I was like, hold up, the Tennessee whiskey. I said, no, that's Etta James. I'm like, they talking about no, it's the song Tennessee whiskey. I'm like, oh no, we gonna make a medley out of it then.
We are gonna do her. My Black is Beautiful.
Yeah, and that song been.
I add a poem to it that I wrote back in 2004 called Black.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That song. Let's go.
Yeah, that song was arranged by myself, but the instruments and stuff was arranged by Lloyd Willisey of Jamaica, Montego Bay, Jamaica. And then it was produced by Errol Wisdom, and he's from Kingston. So it's y'all yard man, you know me say. So it's we have an all around sound. I say it just I try to not stay. I say even though I'm neo soul songstress, I like a little bit of everything. I like to sing a little bit of everything. I was taught to appreciate all music, all black. Black music, white music, Spanish.
I just told y'all I was adopted. So when I was growing up in Detroit, I grew up in Detroit, not in the suburbs, in Detroit. So I'm adopted. I'm biracial, adopted to white people, super black in my soul. So I was listening. So I grew up listening to REM, The Doors, Kenny Rogers.
Oh yeah, Kenny.
Then I'm introduced to Tina Turner, who was then friends with every genre of music ever, right? And so then hip hop started to make its way to MTV and then to BET. So I'm growing up on everything. I mean, Roses, Pink Floyd, everybody. So I'm telling you, it's good music. And every time I do an album, I put a rock song. I write a rock song and put it on my spoken word album because I just love it. I'm just like, I'm a songwriter, so I get my friends to sing the songs, and I mean, I tell people all the time I sing, but I got B flat. That's all I got is B flat.
Oh, it's crazy. I have a rock song called Skeletons, and it's something like I was inspired by that Evanescence song, "Bring Me to Life."
Come on,
yeah. Look, I love rock and roll.
I think we're gonna do one of my original songs.
And then,
written back in the '80s. It's more of
disco.
Y'all gonna have
it's a disco
about writing processes. So, what's your writing process, Maya?
It depends on the poem that I wrote.
Maya.
The poem that I wrote for her. I was sitting there. There's a young lady from Broadway. Her name is Vivian Reed, and she was directing a play that I was, watching or actually involved in. I wasn't acting in it. I was kind of the assistant manager of the theater, and she was doing Bubbling Brown Sugar, directing that. I was sitting in the back, and I just started writing this poem called Jazz Song, and it's about just jazz and all the people mixed with some folks here in Pittsburgh that came out of Pittsburgh and things like that there, and some of the greats like Miles Davis and Earl Klugh and a lot of players a lot of folks don't recognize in jazz because they're old school jazz. You know,
and then you know what happens is that hip hop will sample it, and the younger generation than me and even younger than Maya will think that's the original, and then they'll find the original on YouTube and be like, oh, I didn't realize that was, you know, they think Mary J. Blige's mixes are from her, and I'm like, no, that's from so and so and so and so, you know, but for her.
Yeah. And the latest musical song I wrote was a blues song called "Get On Up Out of Here." Yes, you know,
BB King vibes.
Good man once said the blues ain't nothing but a good man feeling bad. Well, this song is a good man feeling happy because he wanted somebody to get up out of there.
You know that song, If You Think You're Lonely Now, people think that's a love song. It's a diss song. If you think you're lonely now, wait until tonight. Wait tonight, because I'm not going to be here because you playing around.
It's getting worse. It's getting worse.
It's getting worse. It's going to get worse.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Maya.
It's cold outside.
Maya, what's your writing process?
Oftentimes I'm writing my way out of something. So I'm just bringing out all of my thoughts. It is just a stream of consciousness. And then I decide if this is something I actually wanted to share or if this is for me. And if I want it to be for consumption, I really have to go through like a therapeutic process of this will now be judged. You are putting this out there, no matter for slam or not, it is being judged. Once it's on the internet,
oh yeah,
the people are coming. Like YouTube comments, just stay out of them.
My God.
They are a horrid place.
Yes.
So I go through, and once I decide like if I'm sharing it openly or not, then I start to just take out the parts that don't really make sense because I have the rest of the story in my head. Like everything's not on the page. I try to figure out what I need to add or take out because I'm like, this isn't really relevant. I was just upset about it real bad right here, right? And then after that, I used to, like, when I first started slamming specifically, I would run it past like some trusted ears. I do that a little less now. I just call my coach specifically. A lot of people, you know,
you get jaded over time, right?
Yeah, you start hearing your throwaway line somewhere else. You be like, wait a minute, I didn't use it just now, but I was still going to.
Where's my tea?
Right.
Yes.
I call my coach, and you know, based off his reaction, we like, okay, this is how we playing the game. What are
who's your coach? Who's your slam coach?
Akeem Elaj.
Okay. Oh, yes. I know everybody on here is like, who? But yes, that's amazing. Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah, he's a great writer. But he doesn't live in Pittsburgh, right? Where does he live now?
Oh, he's Austin right now, but he's from New Orleans.
He's from New Orleans. He's from living in Austin, Texas. Yeah.
Yeah. And one thing I love, he really preserves your voice. A lot of times people go through coaching processes and I'm like, oh, I can tell you came out of the house of this or the house of that. Like your tone shifts.
Yeah.
The way you're carrying yourself on stage, you're not really showing up.
The way you died at the end of your poem and fell on the stage. I'm sorry. That was shots.
So I really love that he preserves my voice and he never tells me what poem to write. He's never like, this is going to win, write this. You know, I write for me and then I decide if I want to slam with it. So
there you go.
There you go. Let's take a second here to.
Yeah, I love poetry slam. I haven't been invited to a poetry slam in a while. I don't know if I still would or wouldn't, but I love it. And that's kind of, I was telling Annie and Myron earlier that's kind of how Poetry versus Hip Hop got started. It's like I wanted the competition of poetry, but I understand as a poet that gives us so much anxiety to be judged by other people. And I didn't want people's careers to end. I want them to be made on stage or seen by people who wouldn't normally see spoken word in this way. So I didn't want them to see necessary. I used to throw poetry slams. Even after I stopped slamming, I had a slam called Rough Language that I would do 4 or 5 times a year in Atlanta. And I still do it once a year during Pride because they love it. But I don't do the slam anymore because I know waiting on the side of the stage, like, oh God, what poem am I going to do? And being kicked out of a round and not knowing if you're going to make it the next round. And then you pay for a hotel room. Trust me, I did not want. It is a lot of anxiety. And so I was like, how do I bring a fun competition where nobody's losing their life. You know, nobody's losing their brain over this.
Okay.
And so I was like, you know what? Poets and MCs are always talking about what's a poet, what's a poet, what's a poet. And I was like, well, let's do a poet and MC battle. And that is how Poetry versus Hip Hop got started. And I have to say this for legal reasons on every podcast. I am the owner and founder of Poetry versus Hip Hop. It is not a name of an event that I just created. It is the name of my LLC and is protected by my attorney, Kyle Paskey, who is in Roswell, Georgia. Our logo is not a Canva a picture that we just chose. It is something that is protected by the federal government. So please create your own amazing dope show. Call it something else. Do something else. I'm sure you can do it, and find your own logo, please and thank you.
Yeah.
So
you will get sued.
On that mark, I just want to say, hey, everyone, check it out. Everyone here on this show is going to be at the City Winery on Friday, May 31st, for the hip hop poetry slam.
Nope,
We are going to
just Poetry versus Hip Hop.
Poetry versus hip hop. You got Queen Sheba, you got Maya. Going to have the Rhythm of the Night Fusion Band. We are going to be there. Don't miss it. Get your tickets now. But if you can't get your tickets now, make sure you come and try to get in at the door. Try to get in at the door.
Try to get in at the door. Try to get in at the door.
His face, okay? We need a sob story to let you in. No.
Right, exactly. So thank y'all so much for having me. If anybody has any questions about the show or anything else, please DM me, the Queen Sheba on Instagram. I never check my TikTok inbox. Don't ever DM me there. Like never. TikTok for me is literally to post a video and close my eyes and then and go somewhere and be like, I hope this works.
I don't understand hip hop. I mean, Instagram or what's that? TikTok. So everything I do is mostly on Facebook because I don't.
That's TikTok good for it. I like TikTok. I say you go.
We do have a Facebook event. I think Annie definitely posted it on her page.
Oh yeah.
And so for everybody that's watching, please go to the Facebook event because that's the official event for City Winery. We didn't create our own. That's a City Winery's official event page. And so go in there and talk to us, ask questions, post your memories about Annie. If you know Maya, ask questions about the show. And that's definitely where you can click the link and buy your tickets. Definitely get front row seats. If you've never been to City Winery, there's no bad seat, no matter. And I think the tickets go from $25 all the way up to $50. So wherever you sit, it's going to be amazing. And it's appropriate for everybody 18 and up is what I'll say.
Yeah,
it's a restaurant now, and I want to be clear. If you're younger than 18, you can still come because it's a restaurant, and that's just how they, how City Winery rolls. But I'll just say that the show is probably most enjoyable for people 18 and up. Yeah.
All
right.
21 preferred, 18 and up. Okay. Thank y'all so much for having us. You have anything you want to say?
You're more than welcome. Thank you for coming on. We really appreciate you giving us your time. We look forward to seeing you next week and having us a great time. Let us know when you get in town. I might even take the day off work.
We get in early. Let me tell you, that little Frontier flight is early. I think we get in at like 8:30 in the morning.
Ooh.
Oh.
I know, right? On a Friday. So y'all just relax, go to work, start coughing around 12 to your boss, be like, gotta go.
Right.
Go home, take you a nap, a shower, and like I said, doors open at 6:30. Come out and have dinner, talk to us, hang out with us, buy a t-shirt, and the show starts right at 8:00.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
I'm so looking forward to this. I'm telling you, y'all don't want to miss this. This is going to be a blessing.
What did you say, Maya? Maya.
Thank you for sharing space. I'm excited to, share some physical space with y'all come Friday.
Yes.
Really, up close and personal and exchange vibes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. We like to thank our special guests. Queen Sheba and Maya for joining us here.
Queen Sheba, like King David. Queen of Sheba. Her name was Makita, right? Yeah.
Queen Sheba. Okay, we got it.
Yeah.
All right. Now, we're going to rebroadcast this on, of course, Facebook Live.
And also every Tuesday, Tuesday at 6 p.m. on www.scarfireradio.net. Tune in 6 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. That's For the Love of Music. And I am your host, Eddie Mae, the Neo Soul Songstress.
I'm your co-host, Myron Benjamin Blakey Fisher. Thank you.
And we like to say peace, love, and light. Y'all stay all right.
All right. Have a good night.